Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Johnny, continuing my playthrough of Disco Elysium. It is hot here today, and my house, like many British houses, is built very much to keep heat in. It's going to be a bit tricky, I think, playing Disco Elysium in the heat. It's a very sort of cold game, you know? It's like trying to play Frostpunk when it's really warm out. Um, but I shall push on. I shall endure, for I am nothing if not, you know, dedicated to your enjoyment. Can I get a quick confirmation, Jester, that you can see and hear me? Because as usual, I can't see the Streamlabs. Yes, I am live. Hurrah! Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm a bit quiet. I'm a bit quiet. Okay. I don't. Let me see if I can shift this a little bit. Just get a little bit closer. How's that? Is it? Hold on. How's that going for you, chat? Any better? In the meantime, we have a Between Streams Kofi from Kate B. One of the first good news Kofis was from me, announcing a good annual review and a raise. As streaming winds down, I'm bringing it back. Raise is in effect from Monday/payday. Review will be soon. Thanks for keeping me company through 4 years, 2 moves, a cat, and a house. Oh, that's really lovely. Well, thank you for. I mean, thanks for being here with me for all that. It really means a lot. Yeah, thank you. Right, time to load the old game. I think, yeah, it was a new day. We'd had a night's sleep, and unfortunately for our poor detective, all of the speed, all of the amphetamine is now out of his system, and he is feeling pretty shocking. Yeah, that's a few things. Oh, and yeah, last time we discovered about the pail, which is, it was a lot.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the dock workers' union. The belt used for hanging him, tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
What do you mean, rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them.
Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
So many of them. Maybe we should call for reinforcements.
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Let's roll.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm
Good
glad
day,
to see you
Mom.
again, dear.
Good day, Mom. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Wait, what's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Why did you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
What was this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare, but they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The waterlock on the other side of the coast to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
You may not believe it, but it looks like some maniac crashed his motor carriage into it.
Oh, sweetie, if it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you both.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here, when or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
So, your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Tell me more about Morel. Looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
What does your husband look like?
Hmm. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Let's try again. If I were to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did the two of you meet?
By a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating, but I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah yes, Phasmatodea, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah, here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So, a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
You seem really excited about this cryptid.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses.
So, is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
Okay. What's so special about this stick bug then?
Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids.
You're an enthusiastic idiot,
Ah!
but you're still an idiot.
I want to know everything about cryptids. Living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids. Bring it on.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
That's all for now, Mom.
Can I help you?
God, I saw another thing of the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
God, I saw a sign that said I couldn't go into the kitchen. Why can't I go into the kitchen?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
Maybe I am a cook.
You're not. You're a menace. Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the real cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must.
So the phone line is dead.
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
Is it true that there was foul play?
Who told you that?
I would never disclose my sources. That would be dishonourable.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of arseholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know so I can forward them the repair bill.
There's someone else I wanted to ask about.
Yes?
Goodbye. The tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Do you know what's behind that door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Semenine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Semenine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
Do you know what it's called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
Armor like this isn't mass-produced. It would have probably been fitted. Perhaps there's a record of who signed for this particular suit of armor.
A suit of armor like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must be a record of the person to whom it was issued.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Yes, thank you, officer. I really appreciate your efforts in this case.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
I'm done with the radio for now.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
a simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Keep listening.
From another planet. Hey there.
I am the law.
You sure are, my man.
Yes, people get that you are the law. You really don't have to keep saying it.
What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
Limbo, huh? So that's where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife.
So how long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes and mazout.
Extravagantly phrased. But I can roll with it.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Tell me more about this strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Know anything about the dead man? The one hanging behind the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Busy? With what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
And your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
What are you hauling, anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Okay, and what are you actually hauling?
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il-Moran market lately.
That's your machine behind you?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
That a foul A6 you got there?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again, a little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
So, nothing illegal, then?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Cat, no, leave that alone. Yeah? Yeah, I mean you. It was going after some, leftover sauce. Right, I had other questions.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
And let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade, then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions. Don't be a stranger. Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of brown and gold.
Familiar. Now.
It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon.
What's in the south? What's in the southwest?
Excuse me?
A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve.
Really? You can tell me.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping an absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home.
Diora.
Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. on another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows.
What's it like to miss someone?
What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
I miss someone, but I don't know who it is.
I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it has much of an upside. But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
Got any smokes on you?
Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
Guess I'll ask around then.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird.
That's all for now. Bye. Plastic-wrapped macaronis stamped with humanitarian aid. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. This says, food gift for the people of Messina. This says, humanitarian aid tuna fish, not for resale. This says, speakers from the people of Samara.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
Find something worth salvaging.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek, a windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
Leave for now.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool. The place is cool. And one more thing, officer. You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang.
You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing.
Whip 'em out.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown?
A shakedown.
Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you?
Just kidding. I'm really here to shake you down for some answers to official police questions.
Then fire away, officer.
What kind of stuff are you selling here?
Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom.
Where'd you get these comfy pants?
I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board.
Do you have a permit to sell all that?
Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom. Take a look around.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and the dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
Sweet. No permits means less work for me. Let's move on.
That's right. Revachol is the best place for an independent self-employer like myself. That's why it's so cool with all the models coming here and cool celebrities.
Is there a discount for cool officers like me?
No need for discounts and ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
Are those things really on sale, or did you just jack up the price first?
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up?
That's all then. Let me ask you something else.
Anything for you.
The food packages you're selling have humanitarian aid written on them. How come?
You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap too. Buy some, try them out.
I think one said not for resale on the packaging.
No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers, an extremely reputable guy.
Wait, Humanex, humanitarian aid.
Does your supplier drive that Humanox lorry over there?
What? Look, officer, I'm just a retailer. You'd have to talk to my supplier if you got questions about the supply chain. That's how the game works.
Interesting.
We'll need more if we're going to pin this one down, he thinks. Good questions, though. Sharp eyes, officer.
Where are you from, Selene?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
Sounds good. Let's get back to business then.
Very cool. I like your style, officer.
I'll look around. Thanks.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra series.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, Solidarity Aid from the People's Republic of Samara. The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
What little speakers?
No, don't pity them, officer. These are old Samaran garbage. Don't even look at them. Check out these super cool, fun ultras instead.
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
Can't I just buy the sad, conquered Samaran speakers?
No way, officer! These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself.
No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale.
You don't know what I am. I don't even know myself. I want the speakers.
Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. A pair of Faun Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest Faun sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness. Faun Ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Try the shades on.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents.
It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your face.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Don't tell me what to do, Kim. I like those sunglasses.
No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this. Okay, fine. Go ahead. If you want to look like a walking midlife crisis, then who am I to interfere?
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic, the kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
Oops. Sorry, everyone.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed. Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Alright, but these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep.
Wow, officer. You look so cool. And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. but you could do worse. Take them if you want.
I'll take those cool, deep blue sunglasses.
A man who knows his style. Much respect.
The truth is, you can't really see very well through the darkened specs, but you feel truly tender in this newfound deep-sea plane. Two blue-tinted lenses sit in a bone-carved frame like they've always belonged there. Plus -1 perception, sea monster's vision. +1 inland empire, sea monster's soul. I am going to put up my perception by 1, though, to compensate.
Welcome to Revachol.
Hey, I know Revachol. That's where we are.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
You tell him.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
So we are in a limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and
Cat.
behave.
No. Sorry.
But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Fucking hey, Kim. I've got your back.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness. You sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
Sorry.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites.
What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
What kind of cargo are you supposed to pick up?
Apples?
Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Oh, so you're just a racist. Makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Right, I've already made up my mind. Want to hear it?
Oh?
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, Runt. Looking for something, Runt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
You're a lorry man, right? What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
You smell of booze and cigarettes. What's different about narcotics?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Hold on, but they make alcohol in Ilmara too. I was told they do.
I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze.
So I take it you're not smuggling drugs out of Martinez.
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Then why are you still hanging around here? Most other Camoniers have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Whirling-in-Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
Bad for him, I guess.
It's a fucking travesty, is what it is.
So if it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Wait, the street vendor south of here, that guy's a lorry driver?
Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer's stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess we need to pay Sealang a visit then.
Guess so.
We're done for now.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
So, Sealang, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case,
It's fine.
drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
I'm super into drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale, or at my home, or on my person.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
We're looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbour. He or she is in this traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
But you are a lorry man. Another driver has identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm...
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you were embarrassed to tell me?
No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbour?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd, you know, the drug crowd.
He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Who are you afraid of, Sealang?
Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
If you don't want to get into this mess, you have to give me a reason to move on.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Dazed out? Strange.
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange.
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Okay, we're cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
I'll leave you to it for now.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Fess up. Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just tell me which one's her lorry.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
So who does? The lady driver?
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guilds.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him. The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
Why don't you and me step outside for a little talk?
What? What do you think we're doing right now, runt? We're outside, talking.
Damn it, I meant, do you want to find somewhere private to... No, shit.
There's some kind of homo thing?
Yeah, maybe it is.
Okay, that's enough, detective. That's enough. We'll just have to ask someone else about the lady driver. Let's go.
I really want to scare this guy. Might even do just a little save scum.
Looking for something?
I feel like I've spent a skill point, so...
To fuck off again?
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
Show me her lorry. Right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry. Where is it?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
What's your name, fuckhead? I'm gonna go on police radio saying this guy told Marjorie to fuck off.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Right, I'm going.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Who is this?
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
What indentations? What do I see?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Lieutenant, someone shot the king.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
What do you think?
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
Political. It's a king, and he's being shot.
Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
What did this king do?
What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago? High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trouble. This screen found, A to Z, contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm, dusty too. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
How are we gonna get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Good idea.
I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
I am not in good shape.
Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass.
The window appears to be shatterproof.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now.
Nice.
It went better than I expected. Open it from the inside.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Stop and wonder, what's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably granate number 5.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
What about Speed Freaks FM? Is it one of the saved stations here?
No, that's on 78.9. What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front, and a pull-out toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Debriefing from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system.
The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes. It closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all of this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed. Or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
How do you think this is connected to the Union?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his... My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephile.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay. Debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What kinds of stickers and insignia?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy rays.
What about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin is a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy?
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over.
This winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years.
The pile of Eternite looks stranger now that Kuno told you about his pad.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
Why am I looking at this pile of roofing material?
Because, unless Kuno lied, you should just be able to pull the panels aside.
Pull the panels aside.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
I've realised I have completely forgotten to read any of the Kofis that have been coming in. So I'm going to do that now.
So this is the shack Kuno mentioned. Let's take a look inside there.
So, Jen Martini 1. We played Cahoots at work today, and I found out the VP of my department almost got in a fist fight with Jimmy Fallon. I am cornering him at the convention next month and getting the story. That sounds like a wild story. Kofi from Puck. I can't believe you're playing my favourite game. I've never been so happy to tune into a game at 3 a.m. Love from Australia. Yeah, 3 a.m. streams. Not good for tomorrow, but good for tonight. Kofi from Red Dead Zombie. Hi, Johnny and chat. Loved the live drop for TM for the Magnus Protocol 21. Will you be coming along to any drops so we can break Patreon, not just the chat? I'm hoping to come see the RQ peeps at the preview in October. Excited for the UK tour also. Any chance of coming to York? We have ghost shops. I wasn't actually aware of. I assume that's something that they do on Patreon. It is. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It is unlikely. I don't know. Maybe I'll see if I'm available for like a big drop, like a finale or something. Thursdays tend to be quite a busy day for me, to the point where I'll be honest, I tend to like just remember that the episode's dropped sort of Thursday evening and be like, oh yeah, I should check. So I wouldn't hold your breath, but not impossible. And in terms of the UK tour, I don't know for the live show. I don't know yet. Alex has rattled off a whole list of venues that we are talking with. I don't know how many of them are like gonna come through. We're definitely doing one in London, and I suspect we're doing one in Manchester. Beyond that, it's too early to say. It's still all being put together. Kofi from Aprapirate. Hello, Johnny. Watching the streams inspired me to finally start my own run of the game. It's become one of my favourite games of all time. I'm most of the way through it now, and I've been picking superstar cop options as much as possible and having a wonderful, unhinged time. I really enjoy that this game, like, leans in to the, like... Ever since there have been CRPGs, the writers have always liked to add in a couple of, like, properly unhinged options, or, like, things that you're like, why would I say that? I kind of want to say that. So it is so gratifying to have a game which has given you a character and said, hey, this is the character that says all those weird things. Near the end, at the finale, we also learned some stuff about Harry I just really like that they've taken all the stuff about that's like standard to like CRPG protagonists, like the fact you're always opening all the containers and running everywhere and like engaged with them in the world. It's very pleasing to me. Kofi from Thyabraxis. Hello, Johnny, mods, and chat. I hope you've been having a good day so far. I came back from my month-long family stay in Poland not too long ago, and I'm glad to be back in my flat. I thought it would be nice for my first Kofi to be sent now that I am back by the Swedish sea. Aww, I'm glad you're by the sea. I love to be by the sea. And thank you very much for the Kofi. Hope you had a good time in Poland. Kofi from Honeybee Charm. Hello, Johnny. My condolences for the abominable weather. Something that my family and I do to beat the heat is open up all the windows and run fans during the night and coolest parts of the day, and then close up and draw the blinds before it gets hot. I wish you the best of luck. Yeah, we do that too. But the windows are not big in this house. Like they're double glazed and they tend to have like the smaller windows you can crack open at the top, but at the same time not at the top of all of them. Ventilation in this house is not great, so we do that. I also brought out like a frozen water bottle heatsink that I am also periodically having a drink of as it melts and absorbs the heat. Kofi from Alia Baxter. Hiya, glad you're feeling better this week. I'm doing better too, although I was far from productive these last 2 weeks. I did come up with a fun animal petting mechanic for my RPG, mainly for a friend who wanted a specific pet, and I thought they deserved a petting mechanic. That's fun. I like that. Is it? What's the? I'm curious to know a bit more about this petting mechanic. So if you have, drop us more details in the chat if you like. And a Kofi from Stomp. Hello, I realised last stream that I actually must have forgotten to ever internalise Jamais Vu on my own playthrough. Whoops! All that information about the Pale was completely new to me. I'm surprised I went the whole game without that context. What a fascinating context. You played the whole game without the pail. Oh, that. To be fair, it doesn't affect the game at all. But that moment when you realise it as a bit of world building, you're like, right, let's go in Kuno's shack. A silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
I wasn't thinking about taking it, I swear. I was thinking about justice.
Of course, detective. Swift justice. Don't worry, we don't have to investigate every trace of narcotics.
Yeah, swift, lightning justice. Faster, harder, justicer.
See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
The poster says, "Get out of the way or get fucked up." Cured pig's head. It looks mummified. An empty tube of magnesium supplement. This doorway is going to collapse soon. Restoration pillars keep the ruins together. Postcard. Grand Couronne, 37. This postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking the Jamrock Quarter. 13-story buildings line the hillside like sarcophagi, an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last boom years. In 39, the project fails catastrophically, leaving behind an opiate and hepatitis B-infested slum.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. Man down, a trooper has been left behind the enemy lines. You could swear it's more of an instinct than an actual sight. But you know there's the RCM signature rectangle on the cloak. It's a cop's cloak.
Cop's cloak? It's a cop's cloak!
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it? Jump.
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2-meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Gonna have to change my shoes for this. These Per and Ingersoll shoes have no lacing but a strap and buckle. Due to their elegant and affluent design, they have been described as the most advanced dress shoe. So advanced, in fact, that walking through slush and mud does not leave a single trace on them. Oh.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet?
You're right. Beautiful things do make people happy.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. crafting your style, draping your flesh in silken leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal, ultra-liberal. The tarpaulin cloak, with possible RCM markings, is still caught on the railing.
Yeah.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Close your eyes. Let your senses take in the world around you.
Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below.
He's so on the money, Bratan! Just imagine yourself dual-wielding a bottle and a flaming cigarette whilst airborne!
Continue the voyage through the salty air.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
Hell yeah. My climbing might not have been as disco as your jump, but can we still get an ace's high?
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
A police cloak made from heavy tarpaulin. It would be nigh wind and waterproof if there weren't 3 bullet holes scattered on the surface. The signature white rectangle of the RCM covers the garment's back. +1 esprit de corps, taking back the streets. +1 shivers. Know thy neighbourhood. Put on my good shoes again. Collecting rainwater. Numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red and potent Pilsner. At least 3 packs worth of cigarette butts.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
I must have been on an advanced scouting mission in the harbour.
Yes, this looks pretty advanced, all right. For now, let's just move on.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
I'm gonna take a quick look inside.
If you must. But please hurry, we are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man is young, dark-skinned, and dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is smiling playfully at the camera. The young man looks happy as well. He's about to smile. Right after this moment, frozen in time. You're sure of that.
Why did you take that?
Something about this man piques my interest. I think this can be a side thing.
Fine, but let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
A black and white photo of a couple posing in front of a Ferris wheel. The girl is young and pretty, the man clad in fancy uniform and smiling. On the back of a very steady hand has written the words Revachol Fair, summer of 91. All around you, the great machines in quiescence. White pine trees are printed on the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. Oh, actually I forgot to check that door. radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. A giant ass print on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio. Book, Le Fumet, Volume 1, Number 4. The leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Frizzle with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head. A standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be unlocked. Someone left the coffee machine on. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse through the folders.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kurdon, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Force yourself to go through the folders.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Look, Jim, a to-do note with a list of Everns for Everart.
Everard Clare, probably, the head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The drawer slides shut smoothly.
This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. Every worker equals member of the board is written at the top of the flyer. And at the bottom, the union logo and demand democracy. Postcard. Le Jardin, 21. This laminated postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the Eastern Bank is already fully renovated. The hills are lush with gardens and residences. Someone's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Neat office shades. These were stuffed away at the Dockworkers Union office. They're perfect for scribbling down paperwork when the sun tries to get in your eye. Good for staring down suspects, too. This door is locked and cannot be opened from this side without a pass card. You see faded industrial lettering on the platform, Valsund. Valsund means whale fjord in Ardan. The shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marsh. On. Arrête. Off. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. This crane was built with a purpose, which has now been fulfilled. To move this container.
What's inside the container?
Who can say? All you know is, it's special.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
Maybe. I can't tell. I think we should investigate further.
You do? Because I don't.
What? Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
I don't know, Kim. It just feels special.
It's a cargo container, Detective, just like all the others. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to interview the Union boss.
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Because what wasn't an option?
Using my body over my wits.
Now is not the time to get philosophical, Detective. You can do that after hours.
The speaker tower is silent. There is no work to organize in the yard below. The musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. These would have been useful with that driver. For ultimate performance efficiency, these Faln Ultra series gloves come fingerless and with a little grippy padding covering the palms, making these ideal for quadrupedal movement or lifting cargo. Industrial-sized thermoses. Smells like burnt coffee. Right, now we don't quite have time to meet Everett Claire, so we're going to talk to Easy Leo, and then I think the banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. White waves on red.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everett.
Hi.
Everett, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people and scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
What's going on here?
Everything is so pretty.
Don't know if I've ever gotten that one.
You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Wow. Red is so much prettier than drab old green.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes it does, yes it does.
I hate to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Where is everyone? The harbour is empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is, and Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation, for a week or so.
What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Really? Did they kill someone?
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down besides the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
Hold on, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Buford. Interesting.
I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright.
The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinez, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day.
Are you Leo, who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
What do you mean by taking this soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the Whirling-in-Rags.
Hold on, who makes it at the Whirling?
Oh, the Whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something is off about this borscht. I'm gonna look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
What's in that container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
You're Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
I'm looking for the leader of the Dock Workers Union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I could find this man.
Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course.
Okay, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
The 15th Indo tribe. Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Forberg and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks, and stealing clothes off clotheslines, and sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them. This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule in Celinda. The rest of the kids are dead now. Car accidents and drug overdoses. Only you remain.
Right, gonna call it there, I think, for this stream. A few more Kofis to read before the end. Chat's been very complimentary this stream of your voice acting, saying they cannot imagine the game well imagining Harry's voice as anything else. Aww! That's really lovely to hear. Thank you. I've been having a really good time doing it. Kofi from Red Dead Zombie. Patreon live drops are Tuesdays as we get the early episodes. Also, well done on the last 2 episodes. They were amazing. But I have to say, as someone who had a toxic work experience, I hate Lena so much. Won't come up soon. Excited for next week's episode. Yeah, Lena is very drawn from life in a lot of ways. And as for comeuppance, as for fate, who knows? Who knows? Gonna have to wait and see. Kofi from Hello World. Hi Johnny, English isn't my first language, which might be why I've never been able to get English poetry. I can't spot an iambic pentameter to save my life, with one possible exception. So, is the statement in Revolutions an iambic pentameter? It is, yes. Yes, it is. Well spotted. And Kofi from Tempest Montgomery. Happy Friday, Johnny and all. I had a wild week. Taught a class on composting to kids. Got my first writing rejection letter. Hey! And lost power for almost 2 days due to a bad storm. Phew. Glad you're back and feeling better, and hope you've had a more relaxing week than I. I'm relaxing on and off. You know, recovering from being sick is what it is. And Kofi from Red Dead Zombie. Night all, Johnny, I heard you like stories of, you have read too much, now you are cursed, which explains Mag's 70th Book of the Dead. Honestly, the scariest TMA episode, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on Koji Suzuki's Ring series? I love it unashamedly. Hold on. Is that... I don't want to come across as a fool. Koji Suzuki, is that... Is that like as in the Ring movies? Or hold on, I'm just going to Koji Suzuki. Yes. Okay, so I've not read the actual books, but I do very much enjoy the like. I think I saw the Japanese, like the first couple of the Japanese ones of Ringu before I saw the American remake. But I quite like them all. I think it's actually one that is translated surprisingly well into. I mean, it's not as good, but given how a lot of the sort of, you know, in the 2000s, the big boom of like taking J horror and making it into doing American remakes, I think Ring, I think The Ring, I think The Ring is probably the best of that crop. Certainly better than stuff like The Grudge compared to the original Ju-On. But yeah, I haven't actually read the books. I should probably give them a try though, because I do enjoy the concept. It's, you know, it's classic, but it's good. Right. I think that is probably... I think we've discoed pretty hard. And I would say that we have discoed, broadly speaking, enough. Just going to double check, make sure I haven't missed any final Kofis. Doesn't he look it? Jester, do we have any... I don't think we have a raid today. You probably have... Oh, sorry, I've done the... All good. Brilliant. Well, as thank you so much for joining. Sunday, we should be... I think we'll be doing the MacGuffin and Co stream. I think we'll probably just be playing a little board game or something. And Monday, Sash is plunging on towards the end of Mansfield Park, finding out what happens to Fanny. So thank you very much for joining me for this most disco of Elysiums. And as we say at the end of every stream, I wasn't thinking about doing drugs. I was thinking about justice. Bye!